Hello and welcome to the Urbana Daily Digital Podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Berry. Today is a special day for me because I get to go into a world that I never get to be part of. And so I get to get a little snapshot of that. I've got Police Lieutenant Josh Jacobs from the Urbana Police Division with me today. And welcome, Josh. I'm excited to have you on the show today. And I'm super excited to, like I said, I'm in the business world. I have a lot of business conversations, and I think that you guys are in a completely different literal world of what you do from a day to day to what I do. And so I'm looking forward to kind of uncovering that a little bit and taking a step through what it's like to be a police officer in Urbana, Ohio. But if you want to first kind of introduce yourself and maybe let us know what led you to start being a police officer.
Sure. So, Josh Jacobs again. I've been born and raised in Champaign County and lived in Urbana since junior high. And so, like I said, raised through Urbana Junior High, Urbana High School. And as started getting out of high school, started being interested into law enforcement. One of my personal mentors was former Sheriff Dave Deskins, and I was really good friends with Dave's brother, or not brother, Dave's son, Brandon. Just took a liking to what Sheriff Deskins was in and what he was involved in, and was fortunate enough that he hired me as a dispatcher right out of high school at the age of 18. And then my career just kind of started in law enforcement and loved it. Eventually got hired here at the Urbana Police Division, been here for over 26 years now, and love working in Urbana and serving the citizens of Urbana at the Urbana Police Division.
Yeah, it has to be special to kind of protect your hometown, like that's something that I feel like is a unique feeling to be able to wake up every day and have pride in the fact that you're keeping your hometown safe and the next generation of people that are now in junior high and high school of figuring out what they're going to do. You're making sure that they have the ability to do that now, which is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's always it's nice, I think a lot of people get into law enforcement with the idea of protect and serve, know how. And when you're able to serve the people that you know, the people you've been raised with, sometimes there's a little bit of a challenge about that, maybe in the beginning of your career, because you are so close with people, and sometimes you may have to deal with people that you were close with. But as you're in that position for a little while, the people that you know respect your position that you're in, and you give that same type of respect to them because they're people you know and that you're there to help. And we all have those issues sometimes that we need help through, and so it's always nice to be able to do that, especially with people that you care about.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I imagine, like you said, when someone comes in to protect and serve, that's that mentality. Tell me what else you do beyond that. Give me like a little bit of an insight of like some of the other cool things that maybe most people don't know that police officers in Urbana are doing.
Yeah, so policing in Urbana is, I think, super unique. Everyone kind of has an idea of what law enforcement gets involved in or what police officers get involved in. And sometimes being in a smaller community like Urbana, people may think like you're Andy Griffith, podunk police. And we really aren't. What I always tell people is the city of Urbana experiences same things and same crimes and same sort of investigations that large cities also experience. It's just kind of based on population. So something that may happen a lot in Columbus may happen very, very rarely here, but you still get to experience sometimes that. What I love about Urbana policing, and I've always loved from the beginning, is that an Urbana police officer gets to experience an entire investigation. And what I mean by that is in big cities, there are different groups. You have your detectives, your traffic groups, your SWAT members, those sort of things. And those are all specific. They just deal with one thing every single day. An Urbana police officer gets to experience it all. One day you're liable to be doing traffic enforcement and liable to be handling traffic crashes. The next day you're liable to be using or investigating a fraud investigation. And then, the following day you're liable to have a large drug investigation. And an Urbana police officer, even though you will have help from other officers and maybe detectives that we have here at the police department, that officer starts that investigation and they work that entire investigation all the way through until they're completed with it. So they're invested in it, which we believe, one, it makes you a better law enforcement officer because you're well rounded.
That makes perfect sense, and I can see how, if you're in a large city trying to do this job, there's so much of certain things that, yeah, you're doing the same thing every single day, that would become monotonous, and I feel like that's a unique thing for a small town like Urbana to be able to kinda every day is a new thing. You never know what you're gonna wake up to, what's gonna, come across that you're gonna be involved with and to be able to help. One of the things I love watching from an outside point of view is how much you guys get involved with the community in different ways. And just kind of, I think that one of the struggles of a police officer, especially with kids and with the community, is how do you represent yourself as someone that is here to protect you, but you don't want them to be scared of you, right? There's a balance that you have to constantly have. And I feel like you guys do a lot of really cool community events. Can you kind of talk to about some of those that you feel like kind of stand out that you do every year?
Sure. So, under Chief Matt Lingerl, we really took a philosophy of being involved in community and community service, community policing, and as a part of that, we get involved with a lot of different community type of projects. What we kind of believe is that, again, it goes back to that service saying that we're here to serve the people of Urbana, and so we want to be involved with them, and we don't want to be involved with them always in the negative way, whether it's a traffic stop where, you get pulled over for speeding a little bit, or maybe you have, the police get called to your residence for some reason. We want there to be some positive interaction. And so we do a lot of community outreach. We do things like participating in the Special Olympics Law Enforcement Torch Run every June. That's a state-based thing that comes to Urbana that we participate in, raise some funds for the Special Olympics. Um, our local FOP lodge with the Urbana Police Division has, like, currently, our Giving Christmas Tree project, where some people that maybe have some children that are in maybe gift or two extra for their children, are able to come in and fill out an application that we put them on a tree. And then we ask the community to work with us to buy presents for those people, return them back to us, and then we deliver the presents. We do things like Cops and Bobbers program, which was a program that was made by Sergeant Sean Schmidt, who's a retired officer or retired sergeant with us now. Um, to where we teach kids how to fish and we give them some fishing equipment. And we just, pretty much all the outreach, we have a lot more that we do, but we do all those things just to build relationships because policing in small town is about the relationships that you build. So they know that we're there for them when they need us. And also, we know that the community's there for us when we may need them.
Well, that's awesome. And I can tell you from an outside point of view, I noticed that. And I think it makes a difference. And I think it makes a difference in all of our schools across the county. I think that the entire county does a great job of that. But specifically in Urbana, I noticed that it stands out to me as something I don't necessarily see in other communities. So I appreciate you guys for making that focus on serving the community as a whole, not just protecting the community. Um, I know that you guys are looking for some new police officers as well. So tell me kind of what is it like to be an incoming police officer, in Urbana when someone starts and are coming in and working in your division. What's the day in the life look like? What does that look like to kind of get started?
Yeah, so it's a little bit of a lengthy process, obviously, in the beginning. First of all, a person who would want to be an Urbana police officer does not need to be police certified before we would look at them, hire them, or get them in our building. If a person had that calling to become an Urbana police officer or had the interest in it, simply they would just need to get involved in the testing process to where there is a testing, there's a fitness test and a written test. Once you pass those, you go into the background stage of things where there's a background investigation to make sure that we're hiring the right person for the right fit for us. Then at completion of that, if the person's not certified as a law enforcement officer, we send them to the State Patrol Police Academy. Um, During that time, they're a hired individual of us, so they're getting a paycheck, and in addition, we're paying for the schooling. So, which is one of those things where people normally don't know because it would be very tough, to quit your regular job, go to school, and not be making payments to be able to pay your mortgage and things. No, you're getting a check from us once you're hired and going through the academy. We're basically paying you to go through school. Once that person's out of the academy, or if we hire them and they're already a certified police officer, they come back to us, and then we put them through a training program, which is a couple month long training program, to where we're teaching them our policies, how we do things, how we do policing in Urbana, the connections, the computer work, the connections with the different law offices, and then at that point, once they're finished with that, we kick them out on their solo patrol if we feel they're ready, and then they hit the streets on their own.
That's awesome. That's great to know because I think a lot of people assume you have to go get certified before anyone will hire you. So knowing that is, I think, huge because if somebody's kind of like you said, they're kind of like maybe I'm feeling this calling to go down this road, but I got bills to pay. I got to figure out these different pieces of it. That's a great transition and a great way to get somebody involved and make that a reality. So that's great.
Yeah, and we've experienced that. We have a couple officers that who worked maybe at local factories or local places, and they just, wanted to do something different. Not that there was anything wrong with what they were doing, but they wanted to be here, and they ended up doing the things and passing, and we end up putting them through school. And so, yeah, and that's a big thing. You got to be able to survive and live, and so money you got to have, and
Yeah.
so to be able to let people know that is that you can do it. You'll still make money and as go through the school before coming to us. Yeah.
Yeah. What are some of the benefits that the police division offers at Urbana?
Yeah. So, well, talking financially benefits, obviously there's lots of paid time off. An officer with Urbana gets sick leave, vacation leave. There's opportunity for comp time. There's personal time, and so just in that alone, there are different. There's fitness tests. If you pass an annual fitness test, there's a chance for monetary gain. There's a life insurance policy. There's good insurance benefits, of course, but then outside of those material things, you really feel there have been many times in my career to where I've handled a case or an investigation that was a tough investigation. And at the end of that investigation, it wasn't about getting the guy or the girl who made the mistake and put themselves in a bad position. It's really about the person that you helped.
Yeah.
And there have been many times in my career where there's been those really cases that really touch you to a point of you just know that what you did really helped that victim out tremendously to be able to recover and move on with their lives. And so the monetary things and the things you can grab a hold of are great, but in the end of my career and a career of Urbana police officer, when you finish and you look back on it and you see, so and so, you run into them in the community and the relationship you have with them, you just know that they still look at you in the way of you did something really, really great for them. And so, those type of things are benefits that you can't put a price tag on.
Oh, that's a great point, and yeah, I can imagine some of the situations that you're put into that when you get to the other side of that, it has to feel so good. Like when I wake up in my world, when I know that I helped a business or helped somebody accomplish, what they were trying to accomplish, it feels good, and that's what keeps me moving. And I imagine you have so many of those scenarios where that's a unique perspective because I think a lot of people think the police are there to get the bad guys, but you're not. Yes, that's part of it, but you're really what drives you is, are you helping the good guys? Are you helping the person that was the victim of that situation? And yeah, I can imagine that being a very fulfilling feeling at the end of every day when you come home and know that you did the right thing for the right reasons.
It really is. I mean, it just simple things like You get a call and you go out to a local business and you find out that there's an elderly couple there who's getting actively scammed out of money, and you stop them from losing their whole life savings. That just doesn't affect them. That affects maybe them, their family, their kids, down
Yeah,
the road. Little things like that that just or you you have a kid who lost their bike, and later on while you're in patrol you find it dumped someplace and you recover it back to them. Those type of things, are very little things, and they're nothing about catching quote quote the bad guy.
right.
uh, it's just about how did you help something somewhere else along that day. And so yeah, it is huge.
That's awesome. So if somebody's watching this and they're like, maybe I'm feeling this calling to maybe explore this, what's the next step? Where should they go apply? How do they get the process started?
Sure. So we're currently accepting applications right now, and we are accepting applications through January 16th, where we have a testing process that's set up, a written test and a fitness test set for January 24th. During the application phase, if a person wanted to turn an application in to get to that testing spot, they would just need to go to the City of Urbana's webpage, www.urbanaohio.com. The application will be on there. It will say for patrol officer or police officer. I forget how the wording is. The application's really simple to fill out. There's a couple things that have to be turned in with it, and then it gets turned into the HR before that deadline. And then they just need to be prepared for the fitness test and the written test. The written test, you don't have to have a lot of police. There's no reason to have police knowledge. It's a test that's testing over memory, reading, those sort of things, that aren't you don't have to have a lot of law enforcement experience or knowledge. The fitness test is a really simple, so many push-ups in a minute, so many push-ups in a or sit-ups in a minute, and then a mile and a half run. All those standards are connected on the City of Urbana page to let a person know what they would have to do. But truth be told, we're talking about December right now. It's got to do a little bit of work, and you'd be able to pass those fitness tests and be fine.
Sure. Are there any other requirements that you have? Like, there's no type of. I know we talked about no certifications, no college degrees, no. Is there anything else that you're looking for?
Yeah, no, you gotta be 21 years or older on the date of the testing. You gotta have a high school diploma or GED, a valid driver's license, and be a US citizen, and then
Okay.
pass the testing and the background investigation that we have to complete. Those are the standards.
Awesome. So it sounds like if somebody's got a calling for this, it's definitely a path that is that's viable. It's something that they could absolutely make a reality if they truly wanted to.
Absolutely, and we would love to if someone was on the fence and they weren't sure, just call me. Call an officer at the Urbana Police Division and say, "Hey, I just wanna pick your brain. Tell me a little bit more about this. I'm on the fence." We're love to have those conversations, and we'll have those conversations. And what I guess I would urge if someone was on the fence like that, turn in the application, start the testing phase. You'll learn more. You'll learn more about what it is, and then you'll find out whether, yeah, this is what I think I want to do, or hey, I appreciate the offer, but I'm going to back up, right, set back and not give it a try. But you throw your name in the hat, give it a
Yeah.
try.
No, that's great. Is there anything else you want to share with the community while I have you on?
No, I don't think so. I guess the only thing I would say to the community is, and we love the city of Urbana. The city of Urbana is very good to the Urbana Police Division. W- this town and community is special. Sometimes the respect and appreciation to law enforcement across the country maybe isn't as great as we would maybe like to see, but we don't experience that in Urbana. Urbana is a special place, and we love working for this community, and they really show the love that they give to us, and we thank them for that.
Well, and Josh, I think it goes both ways. I'm thankful for what you and the entire division does. I think that when you're getting out doing the things that you're talking about already, of getting in the community, making sure you're serving the people, looking at that in a different light, that shines through. And I think it makes it easy to be appreciative for a division like yours. So I hope that you find some great new recruits that come in and find a new career in the police department. And if there's anything else we can do to help, please let us know. But I can tell you from personally from me and from my family, we're thankful for what you guys do every day, and I hope that we find some more people that we can be proud of.
Thank you. We appreciate it, Ryan.